Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and these are the Audio-Technica ATH M70X. Yes, there's been a lot of curiosity about these brand new headphones coming out, especially since the ATH M50s have been so damn popular, and these seem to have an upgraded name and a bigger price tag with an MSRP up over $400, although you can get them on Amazon for $300, linked below. So with the M70X, the number one question I get, and actually the easiest way to talk about them, is how do they compare to the M50s? The M50s get all this praise all the time for being some of the most incredible sounding headphones for a very low price, so now that the M70s come along for a much higher price, naturally we're all curious about if they're that much better. So with headphones, my comparisons can be very simple. I don't have to worry about battery life or display tech or anything crazy like that. It's just how they're built and how they sound. So with the build quality, the M70X are very simple and pretty similar to the M50s. I'll be honest, I was looking for a bunch more metal or other premium materials because I honestly expected that with such a price increase. But nope, it's all still hardened plastic again, this time with a matte coat instead of glossy plastic, so it's a soft touch. And they have a pretty traditional styling, a pretty sharp tuxedo look here in black. I think they'd be much more interesting if they offered it in some other colors like the M50s, but that might come later. So they ditched the big, bold Technica branding on the top of the M50s for a much simpler, subdued look on the M70s. But this band here is still very flexible. It will suit all sorts of head sizes, although now it is actually only padded in the middle where it actually touches your head. And overall, the headphones are just actually a lot lighter. This makes them more comfortable to wear for longer periods of time. I actually know that was a pretty big complaint about the M50s, that they were a little bit too tight. The M70s still have a fantastic seal with even softer ear cups and cushions all around them, but they sit a little bit lighter on your head now. The only one notable difference here with the M70s is that they don't fold anymore. So if you remember the M50s, those could fold up right on and just fit in like a little travel bag with about half the footprint of being fully expanded. And the M70s are lacking that hinge that it needs to do that. So you can still swivel the ear cups 90 degrees to lie flat, but that means you need a larger case here that actually comes with it to store them and travel. And I guess that's a pro and a con. It's a con because they are a bit bigger and it requires more space. They don't fit into quite as small of a bag, but it is a really nice case that it comes with. It's a high quality hard shell with padding on the inside and this soft matte finish on the outside that's pretty pleasant to hold. So it's free and it comes with it and everything. So that's great. Now you also get an additional cable bag on the inside too. I didn't use it that much since I really only used the one coiled cable, but the M70s do come with 3 cables. So it has the 2 meter long short straight cable, a 3 meter long long straight cable, and a 3 meter long coiled cable. So I use the coiled one most often, like I said, and they all connect to the headphones via that same new twist and lock mechanism that we saw on the M50X. So again, it does mean you can't really use any third-party cables if you wanted something colorful or something braided or something like that, but the twist and lock is a pretty secure fit and a high-quality way to connect your cable. So overall, yeah, these things are built pretty well, but there's obviously nothing spectacular about them, which I guess it isn't really meant to be. You'll see why in a second. But of course, the most interesting part is how they sound. So I did a lot of listening. I don't know if I believe in the whole burning in headphones or anything, but I've had these for about a week now, and I've been doing plenty of listening, mostly to music, lots of it on Spotify on my phone, but then also plugged into the DAC on my computer and had to listen to some higher quality audio files there, including actually mixing the last video I did, which was the Dell tablet review. And the bottom line about the sound is this. These are studio monitors, like for real. So that means they have a very neutral sound signature, which is what you want if you're monitoring or mixing audio. To the untrained ear, that may sound like it's lacking bass or even might be a little bit tinny, but you gotta understand that this flat frequency response is exactly what you want when editing. So the M50s will sound very rich because they do have more bass than the M70s. They'll sound way more colored, and they will continue to sound better for everyday listening and music and movies and gaming and all sorts of stuff like that. But for monitoring and mixing and producing, the even more flat sound and lightweight comfort of the M70s is really what you want. Now, if we back up for a second, the M in M70X stands for monitors, right? So closed back headphones. But Audio-Technica actually newly introduced something called the ATH R70X, and the R is for open back reference headphones. And a lot of times when you step up in price for audio quality like this, you're going to want to move to open back headphones. It's kind of like moving to speakers in your room that are right next to your ears. It's something that I can explain in a later video, but for now, I think the M70X is really the upper limit when it comes to closed back production headphones that you want to get in this price. If you've bought the M50s or the M50X already, no need to worry. I'm going to continue using and recommending them in their ridiculously awesome price bracket for their rich, clear sound. I use them all the time for traveling and listening, but for production headphones, I say for the price, the M70s are starting to compete with some open back headphones, but if you absolutely must have closed back monitors, can't go wrong with these. So there you go, that's the Audio-Technica ATH M70X and a recap of the M50X. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Muy buenas tardes, ¿qué tal, queridos amigos? Soy DESCARGO, bienvenidos a un nuevo unboxing review gracias a los amigos de Madrid IFI. En este caso traemos los auriculares Audio-Technica, los ATH M70x. Se tratan de unos auriculares más topes que tiene actualmente la compañía, están especialmente dedicados como auriculares de estudio, auriculares profesionales. Se tratan de unos auriculares con una respuesta bastante plana que puede alcanzar desde los 5 Hz hasta los 40 kHz. En esta bolsita que nos incluye tenemos todo el cableado para poder utilizarlo pues en un estudio con cable de macarrón largo, cable liso largo y un cable corto pues si que lo queremos utilizar con nuestro teléfono smartphone, ya que puede funcionar perfectamente en este tipo de impedancias. Todos estos cables se utilizan en el conector que utiliza ya Audio-Technica desde hace bastante tiempo, con lo cual puede ser sustituido y cambiado en cualquier tipo de momento. Como veis, el acabado es precioso, en un negro mate muy elegante, con componentes metálicos y un acabado premium. Con respecto a la calidad de sonido, puede ser que se acerca bastante a los Sennheiser HD25, alcanzando una potencia de 95 decibelios, pero con una respuesta aún más plana. Ideales para la producción musical.